Father has come actually. Father Vincent John.
Okay, okay.
I think
He's
Joseph, you
from-
can start off.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. So let Rajmohan sir.
Yeah, okay. So let us start, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, you can start off, sir.
Okay, warm greeting from Bhadamada College of Commerce and Arts and IALM. So let us start, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes. You can go ahead, sir. Right, sir.
Okay, okay. Respected Executive Director, Reverend Father Jacob Rushiri, Assistant Dr. Lal. Today's speakers, my colleague and friend, Professor Joe Peter, Mr. Anas, last and S. Krishna. They are HOD, faculty members, and Professor Joe Peters from Bmcca College. A warm welcome to the webinar titled 2020 and Beyond Reformat, Reboot and Reinvent, a very ideal topic in this pandemic time. Now I invite our respected principal, Dr. Lali Matthew, who is our strength and support behind the seminar, to inaugurate the webinar formally. Madam, please, ma'am. Lali, ma'am.
The participants are saying that it is not audible,
Not audible.
but I can hear.
Let me check.
But I can hear.
So it is not in a mute stage.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, ma'am, please, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to all of you to this very relevant webinar, which is titled 2020 Beyond, Reformat, Reboot, and Reinvent, jointly organized by the Bhadamada College of Commerce and Arts, Chundi, and IALM. On the outset itself, let me thank the organizers who are actually conducting an add-on course in our college and who have been associated with the college for the past 1 year. I also congratulate the Department of Management headed by Jupiter sir, and also the, headed by Rajmohan sir and assisted by Jupiter sir. I also thank all the speakers of this webinar, which is expected to be conducted as a series with special sector-wise topics which will be discussed further on. As we all know, we are going through a very difficult and seemingly topsy-turvy world, a world created as a result of a world global pandemic. And we were all in the threshold of a new world coming with artificial intelligence, with new social media, and all the new technological inventions and discoveries. But I feel that this has been accelerated by the sudden pandemic that has shook the world. To a pessimist, this would appear as a topsy-turvy situation where everything has gone upside down. But to optimists like us, this is an opportunity. This is a paradigm shift. And we find that in a paradigm shift, a new world is created. A new way of thinking is created. A new way of work force is created. A new of work execution is created, and everything will be a complete paradigm shift. And this applies to everything, all the walks of life that we encounter. We are encountering that in the way the online classes are going on. That is, the whole idea of classroom situation has been changed. The whole idea of teaching has changed. Even in business, in the concept of office space, the concept of job, the concept of business transaction, everything has turned and changed, taking a paradigm shift. So the impact of this new world will be visible in the way logistics and supply chain management will be functioning from a post-pandemic scenario. How things are designed, planned, executed, and delivered will take a new turn. I hope that this webinar is an open discussion and an eye-opener, a window to a new world where we will be reformatting our old ideas on logistics and supply chain management, rebooting and reinventing new methods of marketing, logistics, and delivery. I am sure that there will be very fruitful deliberations, and I invite all the participants to take a very active participation in this webinar. Once again, thanking and congratulating the organizers, I declare this webinar open. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Anasisa, some participants are telling that they cannot hear. So maybe some technical issue may be there. Some participant cannot hear.
They can join in Zoom actually. So we will send a message. Actually, otherwise we need to stop the live in the, YouTube, because
Now it is audible. That's what they say.
Somebody is messaging that they can't hear.
Yeah. Now audible. Yeah, now audible. They can hear. Now they have sent a message. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you all. So now I request Professor Joe Peter, my colleague, friend, and my faculty member to the Department of Management to continue the session. Sir, Joe Peter, sir, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Rajmohan sir. You can see, Krishnan sir.
Yes.
Audible, it's audible, and you can see, view it.
Visible also.
Okay.
Okay. So
Please proceed.
very good afternoon, and once again welcome to this webinar. I am Joe Peter, and I have an experience of about 28 years in the industry with various sectors: aviation, dairy, FMCG, and very short brief with the petroleum industry also. I in fact started as an intern there. So that's, and now I am a faculty with Bmcca Department of Management. That's all about me. Now straight away we'll move on to the topic of today's webinar, which is 2020 and beyond, reformat, reboot, and reinvent. Actually, we spent a lot of time thinking about, once we decided to have a webinar, about what could be the title of the webinar. Ultimately, we zeroed in on this particular theme: reformat, reboot, and reinvent. This topic is very apt in today's time. The reason being, we are called upon to learn, unlearn, and relearn. So we all have to unlearn the old ways, whatever way we used to do things, that we have to unlearn and relearn the new ones. I'm just reminded of a futurist, Alvin Toffler, who once said, the illiterate of 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So if you are wondering what you need to, or what we need to learn, or what we need to unlearn right now, I would say we have to challenge our perception, our mental maps. That is what I would say. The objective of this webinar is to empower yourself at future. So from the student perspective, we need to bridge the gap. That is what our intention is. So it is essentially of bridging the gap and how you're going to do it. Now, as we are conducting this webinar in the backdrop of the pandemic, though we are all aware of what COVID-19 is, but I just would like to make a passing reference. It's coronavirus, family of coronavirus 2 of the genes beta coronavirus. It's only a passing reference. And we are today, I think you open the channel, watch the television news, or read the newspapers, we can only see one word, which is COVID. Or there is no other discussion which is so much, which has captured so much of space, that we are every time going into a negative thought as to what is going to happen tomorrow. But what is important is that let's not overrate the crisis. At the same time, let us not underestimate our strengths. We need to prepare for a new tomorrow, a new way of relationship, and always remember, every crisis brings you a lot of opportunity. Every crisis ushers in a new change or a great change. So that is what we need to remember in this testing times. And if we get into the depth of it, how it has impacted us. As individuals, we are all impacted. We are all affected. I think we will not be able to find anyone who would say that, yes, I am not affected by this pandemic. Some or the other way, we are all affected. It has impacted the society, the economy, the business, and more than the business model itself. So the way the business used to happen, the model itself is being challenged. So as people, economically, socially, and physically, we are all stressed. A lot of lost jobs, loss of jobs, salary cuts, no salaries, closing down of units. When we talk about socializing, again, so many restrictions. We are all under so much of anxiety, and this anxiety is pulling us down. And as a social being, we have never been confined to our homes. Even if we are working from the comfort of our homes or attending to the classes from the comfort of our homes, we are deprived of that extra space. And that sharing, which otherwise was a luxury for us, and probably we never realized that how much luxury we have in our lives till yesterday. So things have changed so much that we realize now that there was so much for us, but we always had problems. We always used to say that this is not sufficient, or we don't have that, we don't have this. Always complaining. Now, if we take the larger picture of the society, it has disrupted the lives, no doubt about it. Lot of uncertainties which we are going through, amount of opportunity loss, loss of lives, mass movement of workforce. This all has created a great imbalance in the society. And if we talk about the economy, there is a huge gap. In fact, demand has been affected. There is an impact on the demand. On supply, there is an impact. Financial markets have been affected. Sections or almost all part of the economy has been affected. There is a huge gap between demand and supply. Many of the sectors have actually, there is a great drop. Steel, cement, to name a few. And if you see the supply side, it is so much stressed because we were all along depending on a single source of supply. Most of the things come from a particular part of the globe. And now we don't have movement of cargo. And if we have to find a new channel of supply chain channel, then there has to be supply risk assessment. In either ways, either we talk about the demand or the supply. If there is an imbalance between that, it's not going to do any good. Now, if we talk about the sectors which are affected, I think almost all the sectors have affected. And the slide, what you see on your screen, is not an exhaustive exhibit, but most of the sectors are there. And if I have to say, sectors, probably there would be some sector, especially the IT sector, which is relatively less affected. Even though it is affected, but it is relatively less affected. They also do not have new projects coming, but then they have something new with them. Now they have to think, trying to collect all the information in the health sector about the pandemic. So there are opportunities to that extent. But if you see the regular business, they don't have. People are scared to go to the hospital. They don't want any expert advice. Even if they are sick, they try to remain indoors and try to resolve it as much as possible with the homemade solutions. Same is the case with food retailers. Nothing was happening during the lockdown. Everything was shut. People have lost jobs there also. Shipping was not happening at all. There was no movement of cargo, except for just 2 days back, I read that one of the ship has set sail in some part of the globe. Probably after the, or during the pandemic, the first one to have set sail. And the aviation sector is the badly hit. And since it is a capital intensive industry, it is going to take a lot of time to come back. People are not moving, schedules are not there. But again, it has given an opportunity for them also to think. Till recently, domestic industry, domestic air operators, they were not concentrating much on the cargo operations, except for a few. Even if you take the private operators, hardly one or two had dedicated cargo airplanes converted. But now that also is an opportunity for them. So again, here is an opportunity, though they are affected. So that being the case, what is the new normal? Large number of sectors will have to reorient. They are not going to be the same again. The ground rules would be different post-COVID. And there would be a drastic shift in payment. That is, it is going to move from contact to contactless. Already we are experiencing that. A lot of people have started using contactless payment mechanisms or apps. Realistics has almost moving towards virtual. Physical is becoming digital. So all these put together, we are facing a huge challenge, which is the talent pool challenge. So what is talent pool challenge? Hope you can hear. I am audible.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So what is it? What is talent pool challenge? There is a gap between employability and emerging skill demand. That is what we have to have an answer for, or we have to recast ourselves, or we have to bridge the gap. So certainly this is going to be a big challenge. And it is estimated that over half of India's workers will need reskilling as early as 2022. Therefore, we need to address this gap between employability and emerging skill demands. And how are we going to do this? This can only be done by reskilling, upskilling, and cross-skilling. So what is reskilling? Reskilling is learning new skills for doing a different job. So you have to be prepared to take up some other kind of job than what you are doing. Upskilling is learning new skills. Maybe you continue with your own job, the same profile, but enhancing your skills. And cross-skilling, rather, this is the most important, cross-skilling. Cross-skilling is learning additional skills to become multifunctional. So in future, the demand would be, or what is required of us is, we should be able to handle multifaceted roles. So we have to be multidisciplinary. Skills to become multifunctional, which helps to increase the proficiency level of MD National Education Policy. There is something which addresses this particular concern, where the policy talks about skilling the young people with varied field of subjects or knowledge. So that is one positive thing which I find in the education policy. And if we were to look at the changes, the upskilling or the reskilling, we are already experiencing that. Almost all of us have experienced, especially those who are in the teaching, those who are faculty, they are all experiencing it or experienced. It is all in a new platform, which we were not used to. Of course, the government had already taken some steps much before COVID for imparting online teaching or online courses to people across the country. But then again, many were not aware of it, or the people using or relying on it was very limited. One example is of Swayam. It was already there. It's there. We also know about Byju's, how they have transformed themselves into a learning app. And of late, we also, probably if you have seen the national television channels, we see a lot of advertisement of extra marks. Again, they are into learning app. So over a period of time, probably as institutions, colleges, schools, we also would have to get into, or we would be in a similar manner. We have to evolve ourselves. But one thing to be mentioned here is that classroom model cannot be replaced. Instead, what would be the future is, it is going to be a hybrid model where it would be combination of e-learning and traditional way of learning. So it can be only combination, and added to that the other ICT tools to be used. And if you see the health sector, health and IT related, already Intel bit on AI platforms which predict pandemics and forecast patient volumes across providers. So there also the changes are taking place. So these are there is a disruption.
Yeah. You can continue, sir. No, it's okay.
Okay, one second.
Joe, sir, you can continue. No?
Yeah, 1 second.
You can share that slide. Yeah. That actually.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Please proceed.
Yeah.
Please
So,
proceed.
entertainment industry, which I was talking about, now everything is taking place over the OTT. Of course, we hear that the theater standalones would be opening up very shortly, but multiplexes are not. And if we talk about the heavy industry or the human skill-based industry, they are facing a lot of problems. Only sector probably which we are unable to predict is the transportation. It all depends, because none of us are ready to use the public transport. It is all going to depend upon. Can you hear?
Yes, sir, you can continue.
So it is all going to depend upon the way this pandemic is going to evolve. Accordingly, the industry will also adjust itself. But then digital technology will be used much in that sector also, which takes us to the opportunities. The demand in the emerging industry. And what are the emerging industries? It's all, education is one of the, it's further going to be different. Retail, BFSI, banking, finance, and insurance. IT and ITES will be different. And to reinforce my point, logistics will be different, because till now we were talking about our operations used to be based on just in time. Nobody is interested to keep stocks, or nobody is ready to invest so much of money for raw material. But then again, there is a learning for us during this pandemic, how the companies have suffered because of that. And to reinforce my point, I just would like to share 2 examples where Amazon, there was a release which said that they are going to create 50,000 temporary jobs across their fulfillment centers. And another example is of online grocery market, where people like Zomato, Bharat Pay are all entering the grocery delivery business. Because you can't rely on one particular form of business, or which used to be your core model or core strength. You simply cannot stick on to that and say that this is my core strength, or this is my area of business, and I cannot or will not move out from that. That cannot be the case in the coming days. So what is the learning for us then? The plan of action. Of course, Kerala is a consumption state. That apart, since there are participants from all the other parts of the country, what we need to do is, we need to, when I say we need to, means there is an opportunity for us, for students, to learn, develop mobile apps, learn to customize portals, learn something which is digital marketing, blockchain, data analysts, business analysts, business intelligence. And the bottom line would be, if I have to sum up the entire thing in one sentence, then I would say strengthen yourself with multiple degrees and skills. But here also I would differ to some extent. I would rather say that skill yourself. Multiple degrees is of course good, but if you don't have the skills, if you do not acquire skills, only degrees if you are going to acquire, that is not going to take you long. And the punchline, therefore, turn setback into comeback. This is from me as far as the pandemic and the opportunities which are there, or which will be there for us. Opportunities are going to be there, but different kinds. Now we'll get into the depth of logistics, because people or students do not understand logistics much in detail. So what is exactly logistics? We tend to think about some go down or some small warehouses. Logistics is much beyond that. So my friend Onassis will take you through the logistics part and tell you what are the opportunities which are available in that particular sector. Over to you, Onassis.
Yeah, good afternoon to all. First of all, thank you, the management, giving us an opportunity to conduct this webinar. And myself, Onassis Lasser, from the industry, around 21 years of experience. My areas of interest is supply chain management, worked in various sectors of supply chain management. And I am interested in multimodal transport and international sourcing and logistics training. So currently CEO for International Academy of Logistics Management, Cochin. So today's meeting agenda for me is, as Sir told you, about one such sector, the agenda of the session. So I will give you an introduction to logistics and supply chain. Then I want to give you why study supply chain management. Then Sir already told you the impact of COVID on supply chain management and the career opportunity after studying logistics and supply chain management. So first and foremost, I would like to give what is the concept of logistics? What is the origin? So logistics refers to the overall process of managing how resources are acquired, stored, and transported to the final destination. Logistic management involves identifying prospective distributors and suppliers and determining their effectiveness and accessibility. Logistic managers are referred to as logisticians. And this logistic term was initially a military-based term used in reference to how military personnel obtained, stored, and moved equipment and supplies. The term is now used widely in the business sector, particularly by companies in the manufacturing sector, to refer how resources are handled and moved along the supply chain. See, you should know the definition of logistics is the process of planning, implementing, and controlling the efficient, cost-effective flow and storage of raw materials in process inventory, finished goods, and related information from point of origin to the point of consumption. So for a brief understanding about the supply chain management or the logistics evolution, so like I would like to give you, see, suppose I say something about, you people not be, really digest that. So I will play a small video of 2 minutes. This is the Oracle company, the worldwide company. They had a concept of evolution of logistics. Okay, just watch that. After that, I will explain it.
I'll stop sharing from my side?
Yeah, you can just stop sharing.
It's not there on the screen.
1 second, it is coming.
Yeah.
Just for an understanding level, you can just watch this video.
I've seen a lot of changes. Supply chains have come a long way. Products you make constantly. Processes to create these products are constantly changing as well. How you organize to make them, it's not getting any easier. Your supply chain systems have had to evolve. Oracle has been there to support you at every step of the way. Now, there's something new brewing on the horizon. It's a new day. It's time for Oracle Supply Chain Management Cloud.
So why showed this video to have an understanding about. Again, I will just pass one chart also for you. 1 second. See, this is a evolution of logistics diagram. See, what is the importance in giving this in brief detail? See, why we need to go forward for this, sector. See, in 1916, when you check the fragmentation, you can see there is demand forecasting, so sourcing, purchasing, requirement planning, production planning, manufacturing inventory, warehousing, material handling, packaging, goods inventory, distribution planning, order processing, transportation, and customer service. See, in 1980s is a consolidation time where it comes to like material management, then warehouse, material handling, packaging segments, and the physical distribution. See, in 1990s, as you saw the video, the integration has happened. In 2000, the value capture has happened. And we call this entire sectors as a single name, logistics and supply chain management. And in 2010, the right now, 2020, we are going with the information technology and marketing and strategic planning. The global trade is handled by this sector, actually. So what is going to happen in the coming future that is more relevant for all students who are looking for a career? See, this is the area where you should understand. There's a crowdsourcing is coming in the supply chain management. See, every country is adopting, every developed country already adopted with the data-based management system to control each and everything. As you are aware that the blockchain has taken place, artificial intelligence is coming. Already servers telling about Amazon. When you order something, the robots are moving in the warehouse. It is not like the system what like we find in our godowns like 10 years or 20 years back. So the world supply chain will be running by itself by 2030. There is no doubt about it. That crowdsourcing is revolutionizing the supply chain management. So what I need to say is, see, the globalization is becoming like localization. Whatever you see in a global standard, you will be seeing in your nearest place. Locally, you can see. So that's the reason now you see the mobile apps, you are ordering items, they are coming and delivering it to you. So this is one biggest example what I can give you. So what I need to say is, when the world is going like this, so you should understand about this. In logistic strategies, it start from 1 PL to 10 PL. So the 1 PL is the shipper directly doing the things, then starting sourcing another person. 2 PL, 3 PL is coming, then the 4 PL consulting level of people coming to support the manufacturers. Now the 4PL and 3PL together is a trunky solution is coming, like 7PL. Very soon, within another 10 years time, you will be seeing the crowdsourced managed logistics strategies. So what is relevant in telling all this thing right now is the students who are focusing on business administration or MPA students or engineering students, they should be aware of this. So which area when they are concentrating. So it is like we cannot avoid the information of this supply chain management globally. So today is my agenda, and this is the main important reason why we have selected such a sector. And already I would like to thank management like Bharat Mada and all. Last year when I went over there, I was seeing a lot of add-on program institutions there. So I just got shocked, and they were releasing the logo and how beautifully they were introducing such kind of activities in the college actually. So the main aim the management is taking is to give a value addition for the students as per the situation what currently is running. And even the webinar what we are planned and we are conducting today, it should be an eye-opener with a series of webinars we'll be conducting from now with the expertise from various sectors. So this is only a starting, and for the students, it will be followed by various of webinars. So the intention is to guide our, to be an eye opener for our students and teachers who are in this sector. So coming back, I would like to introduce some of the sectors in logistics, which is already been declared by the National Skill Development for India. Actually, they have already developed like 12 subsectors in under logistics, and in each subsectors they are already started in various skill training program. And just I would like to go fast, like giving some of the job roles in each job sectors. So warehousing, storage and packaging, as already sir was telling about Amazon company, they are going to build various a good volume of warehouses in across Kerala, across India. So there will be a huge openings, like more than 50,000 vacancies are going to come. Like that, various companies, not only Amazon, like various companies like Flipkart and all the companies that doing such kind of delivery and distribution business, they are going to come in India very soon. So in these sectors, there are a lot of skills like from the entry level, from the person who is already having a 10 standard pass only. Some people like pre-degree, +2 level and degree level. So the national skill development, they had formed some quality framework that level 3, level 4, level 5 for like a BTech students, engineering student, level 6. So our system is going to get changed, or as you people are aware that education system is going to change, and then we will be mainly focusing for the unemployment, the things are increasing. So we'll be focusing on skilling this our Indians actually. So the India has come up with a lot of projects like Make in India project, Sagramala project, like NSDC has involved in skill training projects. So across India, so we should be able to pass this information to everybody to concentrate on this. So even we are continuing with our studies like for our sustainability and self you should know at least one skill when you're studying for a pre-degree or a +2 or a graduation level, so that you can find your way. If a career till your career jobs is you got you can, if you know some skills, you can earn something, and which will be a support to you and your families. So such kind of approaches the government has already been taken, and the NSDC has been working in this idea for the last 7 to 8 years, and done a lot of initiatives. So in warehousing sectors, coming back, like there are some of the job skills are forklift operators, warehouse picker, packer for the entry level. Then comes for an executive level like a binner, data feeder, warehouse supervisor, inventory clerk, reach truck operators, receiving assistants, warehouse quality checkers, loading supervisors, maintenance technicians, goods packaging machine operators, warehouse claim coordinators. So in all these sectors, the government has made a they had made a skill program on Indian context. But the thing is, now they understood that the international level has gone beyond something. So now in all these areas, they had kept like serious consultants and revising this to an international context. So similarly, we are also associated with some of these projects actually. So ultimately, our aim is to train the students and train the Indians into these skills actually. So the coming to the second subsector is the land transportation, transport coordinator, consolidator, consignment booking assistant, consignment tracking executive, document assistant, commercial vehicle drivers, loaders and unloaders. The third one, courier and express services. In courier has come now, like as you all know, when it comes to an international level, it is an international carrier actually. So a pretty well paid job we will get actually, our students will be able to get. So in the courier sectors, there are like occupation like courier delivery executive, courier pickup executive, mail handlers, courier sorter, shipping baggage agent, lead courier, shipment classification agents, clearance support agents, shipment query handlers, delivery management, sale agents, courier branch sales executives, courier institutional sales executive, key consignor executive, courier claim processors. So in these sectors, like this, it's an all most of them are like executive level jobs, and there are huge number of opportunities in these sectors are coming. And the fourth sector is port terminal ICD CFS operation. As you all aware about, our India is actually, we have a in shipping industry almost 7,000 kilometers of coastal areas, and almost 5,500 kilometers. We have a very good coastal areas with ports facilities and all. And our government is going to build a huge infrastructure. That project's name is called the Sagaramala project, connecting all the ports together and supporting the inland ports to make our shipping industry more strong. And also we are some measures we are going to take in green logistics. Like when you talk about when we, instead of using most of the time road transportation, there are some new rules and schemes are already coming in these sectors for a green logistics. So we use maximum our water transport systems. So in these areas also, there are a lot of opportunities are coming. Even IIMs are they are developing some for the mechanical engineering students and all for port facility management. So there are a lot of job opportunities coming in like that for the engineering students. So these areas, these people should be aware. And there are some of the profiles are like cargo survivors, grab ship unloaders, crane operators, rail mounted quake crane operators, signalman, stevedoring executives like that. So the next job role, sector is XM freight logistic, freight forwarding, customs clearance. And this job role is having importance because this job role, I think, among all these job roles, and in huge openings like freight forwarding companies, and this controlled by the international organization like IATA. So if like in the freight forwarding sectors, they have standardized the things as per the IATA rules. So if someone is learning the IATA standards and IATA regulations for the international flight, they can work in a multinational companies which is handling goods actually, in this sector. So 1 second, I'm taking a break to admit some people. So I myself is doing this. Okay, hosting. So sorry. So the next sector is air cargo operations. In air cargo operations in airline industry also, once it starts, like it is the fastest mode of transport and the cargo movements. There are huge opening in the cargo agencies office, cargo airline offices as ground operation associate, pallet maker, ramp in the operation associate level. So there are huge opening in these sectors also. The other one is cold chain logistics solutions. Actually, that is also one of the subsector, and where since, as I told you, we are in we have a good coastal areas. Our one of the mainstream income for our country is the seafoods. Like we in this sector also, like there are a lot of job roles like cold chain manager, cold chain engineering specialist, reefer vehicle operators, perishable product handling specialist, cold chain process management specialist, refrigeration equipments, maintenance specialist. See, some of these jobs, as you are aware that in Cochin front, there are a lot of seafood exporting companies and all, and there are a lot of job roles that these BBA, BCom students can even concentrate on the export-import activities of such companies are handling. Lot of seafood exports are going from here. So these kind of job role, if these people go and get, it is very highly paid jobs in the market actually. So I rarely find people concentrating students on these sectors to go and get trained in good companies, because we have lot of unlike other interior in India, companies, we are actually blessed with a lot of seafood exporting companies here doing such kind of international shipments and all. So what I would like to suggest is this, like you people have to really concentrate in sectors, and it's a highly paid jobs, and you can reach the on a level like export manager level in these companies actually. So in cold chain is an open market, and it is very easily you can get those jobs. And finally comes already has been discussing about this e-commerce operations, e-commerce managers as Amazon, Flipkart, these kind of companies are coming. There are a lot of vacancies coming in this sectors actually. So coming to the inland waterways, I already told, we are already having a Kottayam port. I like that we are planning a lot of shipments from our Kottayam interior so that we can avoid the road transportation. So in that way, we can help for much more greenery, the emission of carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. We can save our place, from this, problems actually. So the next is supply chain, which comes under all this logistics. And finally, the 11th sector is the liquid logistics. These liquid logistics, some of the skills has been announced by government, but it is only available in Bombay. These kind of trainings are available, since some of the Cochin companies are already being trying to conduct some of these programs here, but very soon it will be available in Cochin also. But right now, if somebody wants to learn such kind of courses like tank farm associate, it is purely petroleum logistics. Okay, liquid logistics is otherwise known as petroleum logistics. So many students learn these kind of courses and go to Middle East in the offshore works. So tank farm supervisor, tank farm managers, liquid transport operator, these are some of the job roles in liquid logistics. And finally come rail logistics is not privatized, so like there is no much vacancies we have in rail logistics, but it is one of the transport system which support the entire logistics system. Okay, so we need to learn about that and understand about that, those who are planning to come and work in the supply chain management jobs. So from here, I think I will have to wind up and give to Krishnan sir. Just before that, I need to say something about what India, to focus, what really India need to do, for this supply chain segment, what really India has to focus. See, India from this particular time of this pandemic, we already having a good opportunity actually, so that I need to say. And without saying that, it is actually not relevant actually about this webinar. So India should focus to deliver more sustainable supply chain. So India should train the people locally the pathway to a sustainable supply chain. See, as you know, the optimized production begins the renewed supply chain experience. This will bring India in the top in the coming years, because apart from China, the second position is India is holding. So if in supply chain and in the logistics sectors, in this infrastructure, if India is going to really invest, and in this area, if they are really going to invest, the India will be becoming the superpower in the future. Make logistic, what is our my kind advice, make logistic adaptable to the complete the supply chain in a global standards. Even in the local market, if you are trying to something, you have to make that logistic system adaptable to complete the supply chain in a global standard. So India should really focus on the innovation platform for eco-efficient and profitable supply chain. So thank you so much for giving this time, valuable time. I will ask Krishan sir to join us for the conclusion talk from his experience to give for our students and teachers.
Welcome, Krishna sir.
Good evening to you all. I hope you can hear me.
Please, please.
Okay. Good evening to you all. Thanks the management of Bharat Mata Chundi and Department of Management, Mr. Rajmohan sir, for this webinar. Thanks Joe Peter and Onassis Lazar and Lally Eugene madam for sharing your valuable thoughts. It was very informative. I'm sure it was useful for the students and faculty to look at unlearning and learning. Suggestions and feedbacks received will surely form the basis for future webinars with experts in other fields. Now coming to today's webinar. Prior to March 2020, the world moved with an assumption that everything is stable and growing. We all assumed that any disruption will be local, and there are systems and procedures in place to take care of the disruption like natural calamities. The industry focused on bringing about internal improvements in efficiency. Technologies like just-in-time inventory ensured cost efficiency with low inventory. This was fine till the global disturbance of halt of logistics. The logistics shutdown resulted in production shutdown. So the introspection and relook is now taking place, the way we look at uncertainties. So now we need to look outwards, not inwards within the industry. We have to now move from globalization to localized globalization. E-learning will spread to college level. Walk to work will be the next normal. Employers will expect employees to have additional skill sets. Multiple certification will be essential to qualify. As suggested by Madam Lely Eugene, new opportunities will be available and let us grab these. Lots of skill learning courses will be available online for both faculty and students. As suggested by Joe Peter, we need to go for skill development courses for reskilling and cross-skilling. Thanks Onassis for giving us a bigger picture of logistics sector and career opportunities, NSDC skill sets, and the courses associated with it. Learning now should be from the point of view of industry needs to supplement our academic achievements. So with this, I would like to summarize the talks that was there today and hand over the stage back to Mr. Onassis. Thank you so much. Mr. Onassis.
Yeah. Rajmohan sir, you can say the conclusion, okay, for the winding up.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. There's a very nice and relevant topic, and I thanks the speakers, Joe Peter sir, Onassis sir, and SK Krishnan sir, and all the participants, our management executive director, Father Jacob Sheri, and Assistant Executive Director San Kallingal, and our respected Principal Dr. Dali Matthew, all our HODs, our participants, our faculty members, students from all other colleges. I thank you once again. So now this program is concluded. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. We can wind up, Rajmohan.
Yeah, mind up. Thank you.